Guys, it's up. Been quite a while since we last had a new chapter, but it's here once again, and that is Gintama. 2 weeks. 2 weeks have passed by without a new chapter, and it just didn't feel the same. When you're checking for a new chapter to come by and you don't see no update, and you're just like, well, that just goes for another week to go by. And now we have a new chapter, and it's just, I feel good. I feel good inside right now. So in this chapter, we, from what I remember, we left off in chapter 585. So in this chapter 586, after Gintoki proclaimed he is Odd Jobs Ginchan, that badass panel at the end of chapter 585. The fight is still continuing between these two. So right after the Yutsu versus Umibozu, now we get into the Kamui versus Gintoki. And at the first part of the fight between Gintoki and Kamui, we know it was a one-sided fight. Basically, Kamui dominating Gintoki, but as Gintoki kept pushing and pushing Kamui's button, he kept pushing sensitive parts in Kamui that he held within himself for all these years. You start seeing Kamui starting to falter, and he's not capable of anticipating every single attack on Gintoki. And because Gintoki and Kamui, while at the same time they probably may seem similar, they're very different. Whereas Gintoki is not willing to walk away from his own family and those he care about because he's scared of a certain situation. Now, Kamui, while yes, he is young, and they say, when you're young, you do stupid things, but at the same time, that would have probably been accounted for Kagura because Kagura is young. But I feel like she is the much more mature one between these two siblings. While Kamui is running away from his past, Kagura is trying to patch up her past. I mean, when you think about it, the person that should be the most angriest between the two should be Kagura because everyone has left her. Her mother left her father left her, and her brother left her, and she was left all alone, a young girl growing up until she decided to run away to Earth and she met Gintoki and Shinpachi and all these other characters. And you expect her to be as angry and as frustrated and trying to do some crazy thing that could probably damage her future, but instead she tries to bring back something that is once broken. But every time she does, she gets hurt, she gets cut, and she's broken a little bit inside, and it's not fair to Kagura. But the good thing that she has Gintoki and Shinpachi there to patch her up. And while Gintoki is wailing on Kamui, we see where Umibozu, who is the strongest man in the universe, he's I think he always acknowledged Gintoki, but we actually hear from his thoughts how basically he's saying, Gintoki is a man who knows his own limits. And we always seen that through all the fights that Gintoki has gone through all these strong opponents, where all these characters were very strong, stronger than Gintoki. But as Umibozu said, is that because Gintoki acknowledged where he stands, he knows his limits. That's why he's capable of surpassing them. And it doesn't matter how strong or how much you can tower over Gintoki. Gintoki just keeps rising to the occasion, and that's why Gintoki is capable of beating anyone that's stronger than him because he knows himself. He knows that his enemy is not the one that's presented in front of him, but himself. That's why there's no walls between him and his enemy. That's why he's capable of breaking down any of those walls that the enemy may present to him and be able to become the victor at the end of the fight. And when we thought Gintoki was down for the count and Kamu was about to get Gintoki, Kakwa did exactly what she did all those years ago, when she stopped in front of her father, she stopped in front of Gintoki, and she yelled Kamui, and we saw Kamui starting to shake. He was starting to shake because he realized that's his name, and for a second he hesitated to go in through his sister to get to Gintoki to connect, able. That's my name because I have this name because I still react to this. everyone. All these people, they're in my way, and I can't get things done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away my. Remember to he has this craze based musters up all the strength that she has and really start fighting on Kamui, no matter how afraid or unsure she is of the situation. She needs to step up because Shinpachi can't do it. Gintoki is exhausted beyond belief. Umibozu's on the brink of death. Either Umibozu musters up as much strength as he has left in his dying body to get in the way of Kamui, or Kagura fights him off, or someone or something intervenes before Kamui can leave any more permanent damage than he has already done. And I'm scared of what's going to happen for the next chapter. I don't know what's going to happen because Kamui has he lost his mind. Kamui has officially lost his mind, and that's really, really scary. I don't know what to think of for chapter 587. I hope something can bring some light to this situation because if not, we're in grave situation. This is going to be a really bad situation for odd jobs right now. So if you saw this week's chapter, please tell me in the comment section below what are your predictions for the next chapter to come. What do you think will happen now that you saw the outcome at the ending of this week's chapter? Do tell me down below. The links are in the description box so you guys can click on that. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye.